What up, what up, what up? It's your boy JB coming at you live and direct, man, and y'all know what it is. It's the Smoke Something, Drink Something podcast. And this is the Man I Wish I Had a Cigar segment. The topic today is, does keeping it real actually work? Now, before I get into the topic, man, y'all know the routine. You can find me on Instagram at The Real Cigar Jeff. You can find me on Facebook at the Smoke Something, Drink Something podcast. You can find me over on Patreon at the Smoke Something, Drink Something podcast. And because you're watching this on YouTube, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, mash that like button, turn on that bell for notifications so you get an alert every time I drop one of these videos, man. And dude, I just gotta tell you, I've been sitting here thinking about this topic. Does keeping it real really work? And the reason I'm asking this question, guys, is this. You can have that mentality when you're first starting. But if you're trying to grow, what if what you're trying to stay real to keeps you at a certain level? One of the things I've had to learn in this whole process is keeping it real means I got to keep evolving. A lot of us get taught to keep it real and we hang on to the same standard, the same mindset, and the same belief system. And now we're wondering, why is it that when I get to different levels in life, this keeping it real concept doesn't work for me? You hear the statements, man, I'm going to be me. Man, ain't nobody going to change me. Life is about evolving. Life is about growing. And when you start to evolve and grow, what you're adhering to and what you're keeping it real about is going to continue to grow and change. Guys, you are judged based on how you grow, not based on how you stay the same. So I see a lot of people talking about keeping it real. I'll give you guys an example. It's just like this women's basketball tournament. We all saw it, man. Iowa and LSU, that was a great championship game. The whole Final Four was a great activity. But what were we talking about the most? What we were talking about, guys, was who celebrated, what did they do wrong, who was offended, all this kind of stuff. And now everybody's cheering on certain people, telling them to keep it real no matter which side you were on. But one of the things we forgot to talk about was, man, with all of this wokeness, diversity, and all this kind of stuff, you can't have it both ways. So are we looking at a time where both teams that were in the final game gonna get to come to the White House? So all of a sudden, guys, things change, things evolve. And guess what? So should you. I'm not on either side of the argument. I can care less. Nobody's calling me up to come to the White House. But what I have to do is understand that when I say keeping it real, I gotta make sure that real means that I'm keeping it profitable. I'm keeping it growing. I'm keeping it so that I can continue to impact those around me. Keeping it real doesn't mean you stay the same, and keeping it real don't mean that you can't change. Keeping it real means I'm gonna stay true to my growth plan, to my evolving plan, so that as a person, I can continue to have an impact and an influence on those around me. But so often, so many people are trying their best to keep it real, but they're keeping it stagnant. Ask these people who are keeping it real and then ask them what they accomplish. And then when they get the opportunity at a higher level, they can't sustain it because they're staying true to a keeping it real standard that came from the dirt. Guys, I came from the dirt, right? It happened. But nobody in that system wanted me to stay there. So as I grew, I had to also grow my keeping it real mentality. So once I learned something that's real, it allows me to keep it real. And what you guys are going to see, if you are out there trying to figure out if your keeping it real goes wrong, ask yourself, has it evolved since you've been a child? Has your keeping it real standard evolved since you graduated high school? Has your keeping it real mentality evolved since you graduated college or the military? Has your keeping it real style evolved since you've had job experiences and life experiences? Keeping it real and staying true to yourself does not mean nothing ever changes. It means that you got to continue to look within yourself and say, I'm in a growth pattern, and I got to attract those who are in a growth pattern so that as I keep it real, my growth pattern and my keeping it real mentality is actually helping me matriculate. And man, y'all know what it is. It's the Smoke Something, Drink Something podcast. Do me a favor. I know some of y'all ain't going to agree with me on this, but do me a favor. Drop them comments down in the comment section. Smash that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Turn on these notifications. Go follow me on the socials. Go hit me up on my Patreon. And until next time, We gonna holler.